Hello, and welcome to Kentoku Fried Chicken. I'm your host. Here on this newly hatched YouTube channel, I'll be giving you the latest toku news and do episode by episode review of the newest tokusatsu shows, all unscripted. I'll bring you up to date with movies, games, and toy releases too. Some of the time I will do retro reviews and talk about tokusatsu series that are no longer airing and give you pros and cons to each show and why you should watch it. And if I'm feeling like it, I'll jump out of my comfort zone and try something new. Now, let me introduce myself. I'm a 20-year-old college student raised here on Long Island. I got into tokusatsu almost 7 years ago when I magically found Super Sentai on the internet. Since then, I have been watching it vigilantly and even went to older series to check out its roots. Sometime later, I finally got the courage to watch Kamen Rider. Also, vigilantly. I've watched other non-Toei created toku, but I always had a soft spot for color-coded spandex and weird bug eyes on my heroes. I run a Twitter and Tumblr page as well with links in the description below, or above. Who knows what the next YouTube redesign will change. Also, credit for my avatar goes to Gen8 on DeviantArt. A link to her DeviantArt page is also down below. So let's begin our lesson. Let's talk about tokusatsu. Oh, get used to that catchphrase because I'll be using it a lot. While it is a portmanteau for special effects or special photography, it applies to a certain style of genre, which is typically in the realm of fantasy, science fiction, horror, or all three at the same time. Tokusatsu had its origins as early as Japanese kabuki theater, with its use of action and fighting scenes, along with bunraku, which had the earliest usage of special effects with its various puppetry styles. However, tokusatsu films did not become prevalent until the 1950s with the birth of the universally known Gojira, or to us English speakers, Godzilla. Gojira was the first created as a post-World War II film where it became a metaphor for what happened if a nuclear explosion and the radiation left behind created a giant reptilian sea monster that shot atomic fireballs out of its mouth hole. This gave birth to the genre of tokusatsu called kaiju, or giant monsters, where a person in a monster costume would go around and destroy small-scale cities. Except in Pacific Rim, where they just became gigantic, beautifully created CG monsters. Love that movie! This franchise went on for 50 whole years, with Gojira as a destructive, rampaging monster to a disgruntled and misunderstood hero, and on occasion, a loving mommy. Gojira became such an intrinsic part of Japanese culture that his very roar was copyrighted and is protected by the legal team of Toho to this day. This helped Japan conquer the science fiction genre that was originally in the hands of the Americans, until the Americans adapted it in 1998. Oh, that. Why is it that Americans try to capitalize on Japanese franchises? Fun fact, the American Gojira is only known as Zilla, and was defeated in Gojira Final Wars in less than 10 seconds by the original and then completely berated and mocked. Also, it's a sea iguana. 3 years later, a new tokusatsu series came out, known as Super Giant, and as one can imagine, it was about a hero who was giant. Quite super, too. This gave birth to the superhero genre of tokusatsu. Soon after colored filming began to come to life, Toku took off as a genre with Ultraman, Ambassador Magma, and then Kyodai Hero, which were itty-bitty human-sized. This is where it gets good, though. In 1971, Toei released a new tokusatsu series, known as Kamen Rider. And to those of you who don't know what that means, get out! Just kidding, it means Masked Rider. With a grasshopper-themed hero, this cyborg fought a criminal organization known as Shocker. This was also a first time in which a hero was portrayed in and out of suit by the same person, Hiroshi Fujioka. In 1975, Super Sentai came into existence with Himitsu Sentai Go Ranger, or Secret Squadron 5 Ranger. Even though they were human-sized, they had to fight monsters that grew to typical kaiju size with aircraft and soon mecha. However, in the early 90s, America grabbed hold of this and made their own successful franchises, Masked Rider and Power Rangers. Masked Rider never really caught on and is now often ridiculed, and Power Rangers still lives on even to its 20th anniversary with Super Megaforce on its way. Also, Japan adapts America and British live-action series and classifies them as toku, and just to give you a few examples, Doctor Who, Smallville, MacGyver, and Knight Rider. Overall, tokusatsu is still a thriving genre which has several shows and movies still airing today. So I welcome you all to my passion. See you next time!